This is Robin Sloan from Twitter's media team. I am going to keep this message short because I have the disadvantage of being here in a room in San Francisco with like a fake plant instead of there in person with you at the conference in Boston, and I know that puts me at a disadvantage. But I do have something I want to share. So thanks to Mike for the invitation and the opportunity, and thanks to you for your attention. Looking at the lineup that you've got assembled there, looking at all the amazing panelists, you've basically got all the bases covered. You've got new platforms, new devices, new services. So I actually want to try to fill in one of the gaps, and I want to talk about new kinds of content. I kind of want to take three little stabs at it. Number one is think inside the box. Number two is go low. And number three is don't be patient. When I say think inside the box, I'm not talking, of course, about set-top boxes or next-generation devices. I'm talking about the black box of content. You know, too often technology people, business people too, consider content to be some sort of like immutable substance like gold or diamonds, and you can trade it around, you can put it in new kinds of containers, but you can't change the substance. It's kind of like a very special thing. And that's not true. Content is changing, content has been changing, content is going to continue to change. And actually our mandate and our interest here at Twitter Media is to get inside the black box, to kind of get inside into the guts of content and actually change the way it looks on a TV screen. We consider some of our greatest successes to be the programming with partners like MTV and CNN that, when people see it, they kind of go,
Lady Gaga is the top artist on our Twitter tracker with 1,200 tweets per minute.
What the hell was that? It's like something you've never seen before. I think ultimately if all of this is a huge success, if the social viewing apps all take off, if among this next generation of internet connected devices there's a bunch of hits that all get to critical mass, if all of that clicks, but the content is just the same, then I think we've missed the big opportunity. So we've got to get inside this box. We've got to sort of rethink what constitutes content in the first place. That brings us to go low, and by go low, I mean go low tech. The point I want to make is that to do some of the most interesting, innovative stuff in television today, you actually don't need any new devices. You don't need any new apps. You don't need crazy new sort of fiber optic infrastructure. What you need is the will to just produce TV in a new way. Concretely, I'd point everybody in this room to the show 106 and Park on BET, 106 and Park. This is basically a party on TV. It airs every weekday, it's live, and it's this incredibly interactive back and forth with the audience that mostly happens via Twitter. I think this is probably the most interactive show in like the history of television. And the way they do it is with a Twitter account and some lower thirds.
Guys, ready for our trending topic today? Right? The topic is...
Now, I don't want to get like sentimental on you guys here, but I have to tell you, 106 and Park, this is a show that I am like not the target audience for, but 106 and Park is such a breath of fresh air. Watching it, you can feel the way that it is like the center of the universe for hundreds of thousands of kids. It's a campfire. It's like this massive, real-time, shared social experience. It's TV at its best. It's TV, sort of bringing people together instead of isolating them. And that doesn't require technology. Or rather, technology alone will never do the job. What's required is that the people who produce the show, the people in charge of this content, they need to actually care about this stuff. They need to care about this conversation. I didn't actually quite do it justice before, because the truth is it's not just a Twitter account and a lower third. It's those things, and it's these amazing producers, and their creativity, and their guts, and their heart. That brings me to my final point, which is don't be patient. Interactive TV is like famously a waiting game. It's always like, oh man, in 5 years, it's going to be great. You have no idea what's coming down the pike. And it just never quite materializes, never in the way that we've imagined. So I say let's stop waiting, because all the tools we need are here today. And of course, no surprise, I'm going to suggest that Twitter is the most central of those tools. It's this kind of amazing, ubiquitous thing. It's so simple, but it's everywhere. It's on laptops and it's on phones, and you can use it for almost anything, for almost any kind of input and output that you can imagine. It's real time, it's free to everyone, it's global. If you have an idea, Twitter is a channel you can use to prototype it and to implement it. And again, just look at 106 and Park, and look at what they do with something as simple as a hashtag. And this doesn't take much to implement. This is as simple as like roll it up in a lower third and roll it back down. And if you do that, just think about what you get. First of all, you get a real-time communications channel with your audience, two-way, that you can use for anything you want, just by training them to kind of use this signifier. You also get a database of detailed qualitative feedback. It's all time-stamped, because of course these are all tweets, and you can slice that minute by minute. You can slice it episode by episode. Eventually you'll be able to slice it season by season. And that's ready to go today. So I say, let's stop waiting for things. Let's use the tools, the really remarkable tools that we've suddenly found ourselves with, to do good work today. And then in 5 years, when we finally get the Robo TV Mega Player Plus Pro, then we'll do cool stuff with that too. So again, think inside the black box of content, go low tech whenever possible, and do not be patient. Do not wait for interactive TV to come, because it might actually be here already. Okay, I think I've actually broken my original promise of keeping it short, so I'm just going to close with this final thought. I really implore you, when you hear people talk about the future of TV, when you hear them talk about social TV, if they follow that in the next breath with talk of technology and technology alone, be suspicious. It's the human factors that really matter. We say this here all the time. Twitter is a triumph of humanity, not of technology. And when it comes to the future of TV, it is all about humanity. Humanity means the people in front of the screen, actually watching this stuff and using all these devices. And it also means the people behind the scenes, the people putting it all together, producing it, their hopes and dreams and what they're used to and what they expect and what they think they can achieve. So we need to not just kind of repackage and repurpose all the kind of stuff that we've gotten used to. We need to change it. And we need to change them, the people in front of the screen and the people behind the screen. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch up with all of you guys on Twitter. I'm going to be following along on the hashtag.